What's up everyone? This video is pretty much to explain why bodybuilding or isolation training isn't for you, plus 3 reasons why it is, but why they shouldn't take the front seat when designing your training program. So what we want to do first is we want to look at fitness in general and what the general population think about fitness and health when they are looking at going to train. Now, from what I've observed, I see that the general population, when they think of going to the gym to get fit, to make their body better, they're basically tying it to looking better. They tie that getting fitter and getting healthier means looking better. And that is true, but that is not the penultimate or the main signature of what it means to be fit and healthy and have a capable body. Basically, the way I approach training is to train to make your body better at doing things, to train for skill acquisition. There's a quote from Socrates that I love. It is, can I remember it? It is a shame. No man should be an amateur in the matter of physical training. It is a shame for a man to grow old without realizing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable. He got it! Saying that, there are 3 reasons why you should be including bodybuilding and isolation training in your program, and I'm going to go through them now, starting with number 1. First example where bodybuilding and isolation type training can be incorporated into your program is rehab. Now, unfortunately, there will likely be a time in your training life where you happen to be injured and it requires building up a muscle, a specific muscle again, in order to get back to where you were prior to the injury. So an example where that is appropriate for me was I do Olympic lifting, and I was at a point where I was Olympic lifting a lot. And it's hard to get around the squatting movement in Olympic lifting, whether it's pulls, it's squatting, or it's the actual lifts, the clean and jerk and the snatch. It all involves a squatting type movement. So my knee was getting overworked, it got injured. I saw a lot of physiotherapists, and a common trend that I noticed, just simplifying this whole story, was a lot of tightness on the lateral side and a need to develop the medial side. So the vastus medialis, to be specific, the inner tricep head, looks like a teardrop in bodybuilders when it's developed quite well. I think I've got a little teardrop going, but what they recommended was leg extension to develop that muscle in order to, as that gets developed, it may pull the kneecap back into a proper alignment and help to reduce the pain that I was experiencing when lifting and reduce inflammation. An example of where hypertrophy was wanted so that I could get back in, so that I could recover from this injury and get back into the functional movements that I was doing. Am I too overexposed? Maybe. The second example is working on weak points. Now, I have no weak point! Even though what you're doing, or what I consider myself doing, is functional, I'm too white. The second time bodybuilding isolation type training can be used in your program is when working on weak points. Now, for me, a specific example right now is I'm bench pressing a lot, and it's leaving my rear delts behind. Because there's so much going on pushing here, if I am only doing that, I may be developing a shoulder with disproportionate strength. So I've been adding bent over rear delt flies, dumbbell flies, to my program to balance out the shoulder, to cause hypertrophy in the anterior delt, to build it up so it doesn't lag behind the ginormous front delts I'm building as I get stronger in the bench press. So that's another example. I'm sure you guys would have your own for what you're doing, but that's another time when, because weak points are a part of everyone's training. Whatever you're doing, everyone will have a weak point, and if you are doing overall movements like Olympic lifting, like gymnastics, like wrestling, there will be parts of your body that just don't happen to be used as much, because in the moment you're going to use what is strong for you. So weak points will develop, and you can use isolation training to work on those areas so they're not left behind and to avoid injury. Now the third reason, I'm sure is pretty obvious, doesn't really need to be mentioned, but the third reason is if you love bodybuilding. Now the reason I feel it's important to include this is because at the end of the day, you should be training what you love to do, what makes you happy. And I'm sure there are a massive amount of people that enjoy training that way. Now that's not to say that everyone should be doing that, and I feel that because of the way society is, the amount of images of aesthetics we're bombarded with, as opposed to, wow, look at this skill, we're more pushing, wow, look at this body. I feel a lot of people, without thinking, when they think, I want to get fit, I want to get healthy, they jump into training, and that's just their go-to is, oh, I must train to look better, so I'll train like a bodybuilder would train or a fitness model would train. If you're watching this and not sure what exactly you want to train, just to consider that that might not be the only answer. I need to think outside the box and think, what do I like to do? What skills would I like to achieve? And seek those, as opposed to just blindly going, oh, I want to get fit, therefore I need to look like this person. That's not how it is. And if you do decide to be that bodybuilder, to be that fitness model, just have an open mind about it. Consider that you should put in some mobility type training into it. You should be able to still control your own body weight. You should be able to have functional skills as well as being that bodybuilder or fitness model if you respect your body and you want to get the most out of it while you're alive, and to be able to move well and enjoy movement into old age. That's the video, guys. If you got something out of it, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already to get my footage, to get these videos directly to your feed. Bang! There is the subscribe button. Hit that if you want to see more of my videos, and I'll see you for the next one.